Machine Pencil Cartography. Today I have focused my discussion on freefall ergonomics, and I am collecting pervasive metrological perspectives on freefall. This is not instructional material in how to perform a skydive, and I am not specifically interested in how people operate parachutes. The intention of this freefall research is that this information could potentially be used as reference material to validate other scientific materials. You can imagine that after a person fell from a high place, the first thing that the person would experience would be shock. If your safety policies include waiting until after you separate from the platform, then your safety policies are inadequate, because if you have fallen, then it's already too late. I have imagined that when falling, the first thing that a person would experience is shock, and they would not have enough time to comprehend what was happening before dying. Their death would be rapid and instantaneous. They would not experience pain before dying. Falling from a high place is a mistake that you learn once and never get an opportunity to correct. The next topic in discussion will be what happens to your body during free fall. To accomplish this research, I have watched skydiving instructors who presumably have plenty of experience in this topic. My first assumption was that people did not have control over their angular velocity when falling because they have angular inertia, and I believed that they had no way to overcome their angular momentum. I can observe the fact that they can change their angular speed by applying the tuck techniques that are common in gymnastics, where a gymnast will tuck their body together in order to position those body segments closer to the axis of rotation. I have imagined that they did not have the ability to change their angular momentum. I have discovered, however, that this is not the case for skydivers. It has been shown that skydivers do have the ability to change their angular momentum during flight by applying the effects of air resistance as they fall through the atmosphere. Not only have skydivers demonstrated the ability to manipulate their angular position and momentum during flight, but they have also demonstrated the ability to perform complex maneuvers during flight. Terminal velocity. Terminal velocity is a significant topic in a discussion of freefall ergonomics, because the terminal velocity will determine what likely airspeed limitations are, and may act as a very relevant guide to how fast a person in freefall is actually falling. The terminal velocity is different according to a variety of different control parameters and can be adjusted by the skydiver by changing their flight attitudes and configurations. The skydiver does have limited control over the velocity at which they fall through the air. My recommended reading for discussing rheological resistance during freefall should include reading about the Stokes drag equations, which are a set of equations that describe the terminal velocity of a sphere as it falls through a stream of air. Balance in the air. Since the skydivers can maneuver in the air, they must practice and perfect this discipline. When performing a skydiving attitude known as belly flying, skilled skydivers have the ability to fly forwards, backwards, and off to either side, simply by adjusting their balance. It is further explained that the body is a rheological object and also an object with angular position and momentum. The way that they explain this in the aerospace industry is that they must find the center of rheological resistance and then compare this to the center of mass. If the center of rheological resistance and the center of mass are not aligned in the direction of gravity, then there is a possibility that the person's body will experience an unbalanced torquing force that shifts the position of their body even without conscious intent, because the person's body will be possessed by the combined forces of gravity and drag. This conforms with conventional notions of balance, and it is established that a skydiver must balance in the air in order to maintain controlled flight attitudes. It is commonly known that it is not the fall that kills you, it is the impact with the ground. This is a common trope, but can be admissible as actual academic material. Since it is not the fall that kills you, there is almost zero possibility of a person dying before they strike the ground. This just isn't a coherent or accurate picture of how skydiving deaths occur. For this reason, many people who pull their parachutes on time may still die upon making impact with the ground, because this is still the most likely source of injury in this sport, and the parachute doesn't change the overall ergonomics of ground impacts. For this reason, selecting a good landing area is a necessary preparation to make when going skydiving. The landing area should meet geographical considerations, as there are many recorded incidents of parachutists landing in unfortunate areas and dying upon impact, such as landing in trees or landing in water. This is not meant as a comprehensive list of places not to land, but may inspire the reader to examine the geography of the landing area and to be diligent during the selection of a landing area. Thanks guys, this has been Machine Pencil Cartography, signing out.